Harbor Freight opened a new store in South Lansing on South Cedar Street. I've been in it a couple of times, and the last time was about a month ago. And I've noticed through this trip that they've added a lot of new product lines, and it's exciting to see what they've added. So let's take about a half hour and walk through the store. Hello, anyone. I'm Scott Bain. They call me the Old Farmer. Join Mrs. Old Farmer, Marty, and Maggie the farm dog as we go inside and take a look at this new Harbor Freight store located in South Lansing. Now, walking through the store, I will give you a little bit of a teaser that they've added a lot of new product lines since the last time we were in, and that was about a month ago. And along the way, you'll see that the camera is a little cockeyed. Well, I'm holding Maggie in one arm, and I have the zoom camera that I've shown you before on a stick that I hold on to, and I can't see a thing that the camera is doing, so I can only guess where I'm aiming the camera. So looking at the video, considering what happened, I did a pretty good job. As you can see, there's an end cap that we can take a look at some of the things that are available. I'll occasionally stop and point something out that is really impressive to me. Now, the store looks empty. That is because of some very careful editing that was done. And we, in fact, had several conversations with different customers about Maggie, and even one person took a picture with their cell phone and sent it to his wife to take a look at it because Maggie looked a lot like their dog. Now, this is one of my favorite lights, and we're picking up 3 of them for grow lights because they're 5600 Kelvin and they're 10,000 watts. So they'll be perfect for grow lights, and they're a heck of a lot cheaper than buying grow lights. So I really like the design of these BRAUN 10,000 lumen lights. I've got several in the garage, as you know, and now we're going to use them for grow lights. You can see some of the other BRAUN lights around. I don't have the BRAUN spotlight like just above these 10,000 lumen shop lights, but I have a version of those, and I find they're pretty good for locating a specific spot that you're working on that you need a little extra light. So plenty of light without overwhelming the eyes. So those BRAUN lights are pretty good too. And I like that they have things like, for example, WD-40 and some of the other chemicals that you find at a hardware store or at a big box store. Harbor Freight is starting to bring some of that stuff in. And of course, some microfiber cloths. I picked up a pack of those so that I can clean camera lenses and computer screens with it and not get confused with Mrs. Old Farmer's particular microfiber cloths. So we're walking through the store. There's Mrs. Old Farmer, Marty. She's pushing the cart. I'm holding on to Maggie and the camera. And here are some of the summer tools. We'll come back to that in a little bit later on. We're just kind of walking around taking a look at things. As you can see, there's someone down there. The instant he started turning to take a look at what we're doing, I cut the video. Now, those deadfall hammers up above, Mrs. Old Farmer wanted to learn how to change the filters on the water for the water coming in. And so she didn't have quite enough strength to open up the threads on the water filters. So she uses a deadfall hammer to tap on the wrench to break them free, and then she can open them up. Here's the first look at some of the polishing tools and air tools like hoses. Now, if you see something you like, just stop the video and take a closer look on it if you want to. Now, here's some accessories like spray nozzles for cleaning off your workbench. And there's trailer hitches there and trailer lights. Now, I want to take a moment and show you what these little two-wheel carts are. I've got a heavy-duty one, and Mrs. Old Farmer picked up one of those, and she found it to be very helpful for moving her sewing machines around. Sometimes she goes to a place where a bunch of ladies get together and do sewing together. Mrs. Old Farmer needed something to carry her sewing equipment around with, and so we picked this up, and it's been very effective for light loads. There are sewage pumps, not raw sewage, but dirty water pumps. And we just went by the HEPA filters for the Bauers here. The Bauers are probably top-notch wet dry vacs that's out there. It used to be Rigid was, and before that it used to be Shop Vac. But now I think the Bauer one has taken over. Now those are some hammocks. I never tried one of those, so if you've tried one, let us know what you think of it. And of course, different tarps.
Rattle the cowbell.
Now there's a cowbell.
We were able to pick up a drop ship.
Sounds like a cowbell. There's some craft tools there. There's a small etching pen there, and then there's scalpels and hemostats of different sizes. I like using hemostats. I've got 3 or 4 pairs of them, and Mrs. Old Farmer's got a couple of them too. Now there's that micro etching pencil and magnifying glasses. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone that could really get by without hemostats. Once you have a pair, you know how good they are and handy. They're good for reaching behind cabinets when you drop a screw or something. It's good for an extra set of hands. And those are cartwheels for putting on different projects. And generators, lots of generators. Here was a chain hoist there. I don't have one, maybe I might get one. I picked up a suction cup, the bigger one, just to the left, so that I could work on one of Mrs. Old Farmer's computers. I never got around to it, but I did pick up the suction cups. They are good. I've hauled things around with it. There's good suction on it. And of course, shop stools. They don't have an orange one in there. What a shame. I might get one if there was an orange one, because that's my color. Cable ties. I got so many cable ties for different sizes. And I find the Harbor Freight ones pretty good cable ties. Now there are some orange jack stands. Those are the replacement ones because the original ones they recalled. Harbor Freight was the only company that did that. And there's some floor jacks. Automotive testing gear, and I don't get into that stuff, so I really can't say what the quality is. So if you've used this stuff, comments below if you would please. Refrigerant tools and chemicals. I've just got a couple of grease guns that the old-fashioned pump them themselves type, not the power ones. And of course the Franklin ladders are good. And then over here on this side, some pipe wrenches and a faucet wrench for reaching underneath up to tighten down faucets from underneath. I bet that's a handy little stand to have, a step stool to have around. It folds up. I should have gotten one of those. Could have used it. Now this happens to be the base of a drywall holder for putting drywall, sheets of drywall in and then placing them in the ceiling or on the walls or whatever. And of course the official blue tarps that Harbor Freight's so familiar with. And that's the new drill press that we just walked past. And some clamps. I think Harbor Freight's got some pretty good clamps that are equal to Bessie clamps. I found them in another spot with the right size that I actually wanted, so I picked up 4 of them. That was a Bauer sawhorse. That was a steel base lawnmower. That's the stomach of Joshua, who works there. Great guy. There's something important about the employees who work at Harbor Freight. I find that they are a higher grade of employee and they really help out. But as important as these people are, it's the manager that sets the tone for it. And this store has a very good manager. We had a Portland washer at one time, and we replaced it. Just didn't have quite enough room for what we wanted. And that is a little greenhouse. Obviously, they don't sell the one that's that size, but that's just an example of what it is. Now, I hear that the springs pop out. You've got to take an extra effort to keep the springs in place for the plastic sidings. But other than that, I think they're pretty good from what I hear. I did a review of the Bauer blower there, that one there. I had a 3 amp hour battery and it only ran for almost 90 seconds and stopped after a full charge. Now that one happens to be a plug-in, but they have a battery operated one there too. Now you don't want brushless motors in plug-ins because you want the bigger power that you would have with brushed motors. For the battery ones, you want brushless motors in it. And they're not brushless, so I don't recommend them. Some people like them, but I can't recommend them. Mrs. Old Farmer is looking to see if they switch to brushless motors for the battery-operated blower, and they have not. So I would avoid getting one of those. Axes, hatchets, brooms, dustpans. That looks like a pretty good dustpan. Those fly swatters, electric fly swatters, actually work if you can aim them. But other than that, they do a great job. I've done a couple of reviews on some chainsaws, the Bauer, and I forget what the other one was. It's replaced with the Portland now, but plastic scissors with the metal blade on it, I don't care for those. And those are rag towels. And of course we have some rust remover there. I haven't tried it, so if you have, let us know what you think of it. And then we're back to the BRAUN lights again. I do like the Bauer work light. That's dual power, battery or plug-in. They make great photography lights. And there's Maggie. Angle grinders, the fresh blades for them, and a few other things. I like those yellow parts bins because they're little cups. I like the ones that are cups, not just dividers. Quinn tools. I don't have any complaints with the Quinn tools I have, and I've been hearing good things about them. Now that is a good little set of starting tools. Mine got dipped into dirty oil, but once I cleaned them, they were fine. They did a good job, so that's a good starter kit. Stay away from the drywall T-square because the numbers will rub off on it. I was trying to get the gum label off and took the numbers off, so I brought it back and returned it. Now the rafter squares are etched. And of course, I have the icon socket set, and I like them. Oh, this is a little baby scale. I'll bring up a slide of what that is. Cute. But if I was going to buy one, I think I'd get a bigger one. Now the US General, if you have any doubts about it because you saw the ones put together in the store, they're put together wrong. I haven't seen one put together properly. But a US General, I've got the second version of it. Now there's a third version out. Second version, 5-drawer US General. Love it. Fantastic. You don't need to go up to the icon ones. US General is great for most jobs. And the Yukon, we got that in the kitchen, the Yukon. Camo bungee cords. Cute. Again, some more Quinn hand tools. I like the rolls of rubber matting that's weaved, rubber weaved. It does a good job. There's some welders. I learned arc welding back on the farm. The last time I did any welding was I was 12 years old. I got my uncle's sitting in the garage, and I've never fired up. I want to do some arc welding, but haven't gotten to it. That little belt sander there is fantastic. I put 1,000 grit belts on it and use it for sharpening knives. There's some more containers. Again, those are the kinds that have the divisions. I like the ones with the pockets. And that's a little, it's called a hobby table saw. But about all it'll cut is styrofoam. It's not really that good. It's cute, and I think they're going to drop that line. Pittsburgh combo wrenches. Those are pretty doggone good. I got a set of them. And those pancake, I hear good things about those pancake air compressors. And metal bending tools. And on this side, we got vices. Now, if you have a chance, if you want to get an anvil, that little Doyle one is a pretty good little anvil. Stay away from the blue one, but that little anvil there, I really like. It's almost up to what you would need for blacksmithing, but it's okay for DIY. There's some more welders of various kinds. Angle grinders. Pick up the cheap ones, but don't abuse them. Don't let them overheat. They'll do you fine for your secondary one. And a spot welder. I've never used one of those. Any comments? Please leave comments if you've used any of this stuff. These are a little bit better made than what they originally came out with for welding helmets. They used to just put gum labels on it and charge $149 for a black one with pretty gum labels on it. I hear the chisels aren't that great, so if you want to abuse a set, get them. Now this is where I picked up some of the C-clamps that I want. I use them on photography stuff. Little C-clamps. I had picked up 4 previously on the last strip, and they were a little bit too small, so I got the next size up. But I do like Harbor Freight clamps. Welding supplies. Those are for welding. Those are welding clamps. I wish they would make the batteries interchangeable between all the formats. In other words, if you got the 20 volt, it would work on any of the 20 volt stuff. And the Warrior would be the lesser batteries, and the Hercules would be the best batteries, but they would all be interchangeable by battery format. So I'm in the Bauer line. So I won't get Hercules battery tools. I'll get Hercules tools, such as that miter saw down there. Oh, that 12-inch Hercules miter saw. That's That's as good as anything else there on the market. And you wait for it to go on sale. The last time it was on sale, it was for $2.99, $100 off. And I've done a couple of videos on it. You might want to go back and check. Pierce pneumatic nailers and other brands of nailers. I don't think I'd get the Bauer planer. I think I'd get the Hercules one and then swap out the blade configuration and go with the spirals. Riveting tools. And some polishes. Workshop blowers, good for if you're welding. I like the little Bauer orbital sander. That does a good job. And the Hercules blade for the miter saw, I would make it the same quality as what the Diablo was or is. It's as good as a Diablo, I think. And another look at the miter saw Hercules with the miter stand sitting above it. Yeah, I'm in the Bauer line of tools and find them very satisfactory. Does everything I want them to do. And it's a shame that they have to start locking up things and the stuff walks out the door, but that's like the Harbor Freight buckets are as good as the ones that you get at Home Depot. And I heard good things about the Apex. Thank you for watching. And please be safe. We'd sure appreciate it if you could subscribe and leave a comment. You know how YouTube behaves. They won't believe you watched a video unless you leave a comment. Also, it would help if you ring the bell and do a thumbs up. As you know, if I find a good channel, I pass it on to you. So if you think it's appropriate, it would sure help if you passed us on to your closest 10,000 friends and family. But above all, give a helping hand to someone today. It's the best gift to give. It'll make you feel good too.
Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, or ring the bell buttons on the Original Old Farmer channel. We enjoy reading the comments that you leave, and they do help the channel, so keep them coming. And once again, thank you for watching The Original Old Farmer.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.